Very warm good morning to all of you. I welcome all the delegates for first scientific session on 5th day of AICT sponsored short-term training program. We had a wonderful talk in the last 4 days by the renowned academicians. Today we have with us giant academician Dr. R.J. Dias, Head Department of Pharmacy, Government College of Pharmacy, Karad. On behalf of IPER, I heartily welcome you, sir. Dr. Dias did not require any introduction, but still some achievements of Dr. Dias I am going to highlight here. Dr. R.J. Dias has graduated in pharmacy from Government College of Pharmacy, Karad in 1996, completed his M.Pharm in 2002 and PhD in 2008 from the same college. He has also completed management studies and postgraduate diploma in patent law from Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad. He started his career as a medical representative in Hest Marian Russell Limited at Kolhapur. After his 2 years inning there, he shifted to academics and is having 20 years of teaching experience. He worked for 4 years with MES College of Pharmacy, Chipudul. He then worked for Satara College of Pharmacy, Satara, for 9 years and developed the institute from its inception. He has worked as a professor at Siagarh Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Lonavala, before shifting to Yashoda Technical Campus, Satara, as a campus director for 5 years. Presently, he is working as a head of the department, Government College of Pharmacy, Karad. He has authored 4 books, published 1 patent, 23 international and 50 national journals, papers in the national journals. He has guided 44 M.Pharm, 1 PhD student, and his area of interest include biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics, novel drug delivery system, biostatistics, etc. He is a life member of various professional bodies like ISTE, APTI, IHPA, IPA, etc. Dr. Dias has won many awards for his research and dedicated work. Recently, he has won APTI Best Teacher and Principal of Diploma Pharmacy for the year 2018. During APTI convention at Jaipur, he has delivered more than 80 expert lectures on various topics and trained more than 3,000 faculty on online teaching through various faculty development programs. He has worked as a member of Board of Studies in Pune, Solapur, Nanded and Kolhapur universities. I again heartily welcome you, sir. Now I request Dr. Dias to deliver the talk. His title of talk is Online Tools for Outcome-Based Teaching Learning Process. Dr. Dias to deliver the talk.
Thank you, Dr. Rati sir, for your kind words during my introduction. Let me first take this opportunity to say thanks to Dr. R. Ganjiwale sir, Principal IPER Varda, who is the chairman in the organizing committee, Dr. Manisha Puranik madam, convener of this program, co-chairman Dr. B.S. Sathe sir, and coordinator LG Rati sir, and all the organizing team who has taken so many pains to organize this AICTE STTP on outcome-based pedagogical methods for effective teaching, learning, and accreditation. So, very good morning to you all, dear participants. So, let us start, because last 4 days you have been listening about various pedagogical methods as well as accreditation. So, today we are going to focus on various tools for outcome-based teaching learning process. So, let me share my screen to you. I hope you can see my screen now. So, dear participants, let us start this session on online tools for outcome-based teaching learning process. Let us make it more interactive. Let us have the discussion during this session. And for that reason, I want you to start our session with few of the experiences which I want from you to know. So I request all the participants, I'm welcoming you and I'm requesting you to go to www.menti.com. Okay, so you can just log into menti.com and you're going to use the code 6331943. You are going to use the code 6331943, so that there are two questions which I would like you to answer for me. So take your time and log in to www.menti.com and it will ask the code. So give the code 6331943. Six 331 So you can see here, still nobody has logged into www.menti.com. Kindly log into this. Only two questions are there, so that I can know your experiences. Okay, and you are going to use the code 6331943. So which of the modern pedagogical, no, I have got the first answer. Okay, there are two questions which have been given. The first question is, NBA accreditation is the process of dash. The choices were documentation, implementation of OBE, or both implementation of OBE and documentation of it. 10 people have logged in and all are saying that NBA accreditation is the process of both implementation of OBE and the documentation of it. Yes, so this was the first question, and the second question is also there. So come on and give your answers, so nobody feels that it is the process of documentation only or only implementation of OBE, but it is the method, is the process of both implementation of OBE and documentation of it. Good number, 17 have given their answers. Come on, let us go fast so that we can complete this process and go ahead with our presentation. So NBA accreditation is the process of both implementation of OBE and the documentation of it. 19 have said this. Nobody has gone for documentation or implementation of OBE. Second question, which of the modern pedagogical techniques you use for effective teaching learning process? So the answers: whiteboard, PowerPoint, Moodle, synchronous, Google Classroom, Google Quiz, interactive session. So Edmodo. So you have given all. Somebody has said blended learning, LMS, asynchronous one. Good. So we have got 18 responses. Okay, dear friends, you have given the answers. The around 21 people have given the answers that they use synchronous type of teaching, flipped classroom, Google Classroom, Moodle, etc., etc. That's very nice. So I know that whatever you are doing. Okay, so I will just skip it and we will return back to our presentation because we have got answer to both of my questions. Okay. So very nice for participating into this Mentimeter questions, and we could know that OBE is the process. This NBA accreditation is the process by which we both implement OBE in our teaching learning process or in overall accreditation process, and it is the documentation also. Whatever we do, how we implement OBE in our institute, everything is well documented for. Second thing is, we have also gone and we have seen so many pedagogical techniques that you are using. So my dear participants, the learning outcomes for my today's session are: after completion of this session, the learners, the participants will be able to use tools for outcome-based teaching learning process, enrich course content with multimedia, use collaborative tools for student engagement, use assessment tools for continuous assessment. You might be using so many tools because we are working from home, or we are the students are at their home and we are working without students, and therefore you might be using. But still, when we are talking about outcome based education, we have to think of how this implementation of OBE can be done and how this can be documented. Because each and everything, if we are going to document it physically on paper, then it might be cumbersome for us. That it might be thousand-fold work. So if we use some tools by which we can keep the record of everything, then that is going to help us a lot. So dear students, dear participants, let us go to the first part, that is introduction to OBE and teaching learning process, where you know what is outcome based education. You might be knowing that it is a input output model, where as a input we are having a good teaching faculty, good curriculum, and we are having the infrastructure and other resources which are required so that it can be work as an input. And whatever the input is there, whatever the students are coming as an input, we are going for a process, and that process, important process, is teaching and learning. Teaching and learning is the process which makes us to achieve the program and subject outcomes. So at the graduation of the student, we check whether he has achieved the POs. At the end of the year, we say, or end of the semester, we see whether the COs have been achieved or not. And then when the students are going into the marketplace, we see that whether they are fulfilling the stakeholders' satisfaction levels or not. Okay, so we even check whether the program educational outcomes have been achieved or not. So this is what the process is, outcome based education process. But in this process, you will find that at every point of time, it is we have to document, we have to assess our teaching and learning process by assessing teaching staff, by seeing that whether the lecture material which has been produced is well or not, whether the students are results, their performance has been improved or not. Okay, likewise, how the feedback of the students, whether they are working on some thinking projects, whether the feedback from industry, alumni, and other stakeholders is good or not. So we work at every step, assessing ourselves, assessing the students, assessing the whole process, and therefore we see to it that whether the stakeholders are satisfied or not, whether the employers are satisfied with our students or not. Many times we see that the students who are coming out of our colleges, they are not employable because the skills which are should be present into them, those skills are not there. And for that reason, we have to see how our process is going on. And therefore, the teaching learning process that takes place importance. Okay, so let us go and see there are the important questions, those are addressed by OBE. The first question is, what do we want the students to have or be able to do once a pharmacy course or an engineering course is totally finished? What my student should be able to do? That is a prime question, and the same question OBE is also asking, because we are focused on outcome. What outcome? They are really able to produce this? Are they able to manufacture the dosage forms? Whether they are able to do the quality control test? So those skills which we are pointing towards, that knowledge, that attitude, whether it is there in our students or not, that OBE is addressing. Okay, so second question, how can we best help students to achieve it? What should be the teaching learning process so that the students will be able to do what we are expecting them to do? So this is the second question. The third one is how we are going to know whether the students have achieved it. It should not be that the stakeholders are saying that your students are not able to do this. Can't we assess our students on a continual basis so that whatever the final product will be ready, that will be of superior quality? So we have to concentrate on assessment. Not only that, we have to see how continuous quality improvement can take place. So my dear learners, teachers, see this, that it is the knowledge, skills and attitudes, those are important. Not only this, what teaching learning process we are using, how the results we are getting, those are important. How we are going to assess the student, that is important. And in every case, the documentation is huge. Okay, and therefore if we can use some online tools, if we can be digital, then we can use the innovative, the flexible teaching learning process that can make our documentation process very easy? Can we do the assessment of the student, which may be an online one, that can be more helpful for doing keeping the records? Okay, so let us go to see the expected changes to implement OBE, that is a course content. We have to be very specific. We have to review our course content so that whether we are taking care of learning outcomes or not. That is very important, learning outcomes. And are these learning outcomes which are in synchronization with industry? Is it something that my institute is giving something extra to the students in the course so that everybody will be coming to my institute? So likewise, we have to develop our course content. We have to see that how I am going to bring some innovation in my teaching learning process, how I can be flexible in my delivery, how I can use some digital techniques, how I can improve the innovative ways of teaching. Because if we are using a traditional teaching process, then the committee is going to ask what you are using the innovative processes. Are you flexible in teaching methods? So how we can go for this flexibility in teaching, how we can make it more innovative, that is also important. Not only that, which are the assessment and evaluation tools? Is it sufficient that we are going to evaluate our students at the end of the semester? It is not. Because when the assessment or evaluation is there, we know that there are two types of assessments. Which one is a formative and summative assessment. So what about formative assessment? If I have taken lecture today and if I am unable to know that my students have understood or not, which part of my lecture they have understood, which part they have not understood, if I can get that from some assessment tool, that becomes a formative assessment which I can use. Okay, this part has not been explained well by me to the students, and therefore they have not understood, I can repeat it. So likewise, we have to see which assessment tools we can use for our formative and summative assessment. It is not that at the end only we can do the assessment of our students. With this, how I'm going to collect the data? I'm going to create the survey physically. Is it possible to analyze whatever the survey has been conducted by me? It is not. So if I want to analyze all these things, how I can get the tool so that online I can get all the surveys and I can get pictorially, I can prove it that yes, the data has been collected and this is the evidence that my student has progressed from this level to that level. That can be said. So whatever the changes that have been, and the last one is a continuous quality improvement. At a certain stage, if I can say that my students, my institute is at this level today, and after 6 months it has gone to this level, then we are continually improving. So my dear participants, I want you to understand that OBE is the philosophy which we have to implement, and everything needs to be documented. And if you use the tools, that documentation process will be far much easier for us. Okay, so with this is a slide which I believe that academic institutions are not known by its buildings, by its infrastructures. Academic institutions are built by teachers, by the faculty, because the important parts like that of teaching learning process, student support and progression, governance, evaluation and assessment, extension activities, all are taken care by the faculty. And therefore, if we want to get the accreditation done by the institute, we want that teachers who are tech savvy, the teachers who are building this academic institute. And therefore, the role of a teacher, the role of a faculty is very important in establishing any academic institute. Now, when we are talking of teaching learning process, because my focus today is on teaching learning process. So when we are talking about teaching learning process, it is the learner centric approach that is important. The traditional teaching learning process of a classroom teaching is not a learner centric, because we teach to the students, but instead of what teacher teaches, what students learn, that is very important. What students learn, or otherwise we as a teacher, we are very much interested to cover our syllabus. That's all. I have covered my syllabus 90%, 95%, 100% syllabus is covered, but whether the students have learned that, that is very important. So teaching learning process, it is not only teaching. Once you teach it, the student should be able to learn it. So how that process should be going together? You are teaching, student is learning. Then only teaching learning process is going to be totally complete. And therefore, we have to see how we can bring the learner centric approach. That is very important. And for that, we have to understand that what the traditional classroom teaching we are doing, what we are doing, we are taking the lectures. We are taking the lectures in the classroom. The students go into the library and read the books, and most of the time those who are bunking the classes, they go and read the books. They see the maybe the pictures are there because we have the charts there in our laboratories. The students learn through the pictures, or we take the charts to the classroom where they see. Sometimes we even play the video so that they can understand better, or we demonstrate. So these are the things which we are taking care in our traditional teaching. But you can see here, in case of lectures, it is only hearing. So whether they are attentive and they are listening to your lectures, they are understanding something, or only one way communication is happening. And hearing is the process. Here the reading is the process. Here seeing is the process. But when we come to watching videos and demonstration, they are seeing and hearing. But whatever they are doing in this, it is a totally a passive learning, because active involvement of the student is not there. What you are showing, they are seeing it. Whether you are teaching it, they are hearing it. So this is a totally passive type of learning. So the passive learning is no active efforts from the students. They are just reading it or just hearing it. But whether they are doing some active efforts, sometimes yes, they are doing some active efforts, then the passive learning becomes the active learning. But most of the time it is only for the sake of giving the exam. So no active efforts are there, and therefore traditional teaching learning process should be abandoned. Not totally, but how we are going to convert ourselves from passive learning to active learning, that is important. So if you are teaching in a classroom, maybe for 40 minutes or 30 minutes out of 1 hour, then remaining strategy should be something active learning strategy, where the students, you are forming some groups and maybe some group discussion is happening. You are asking the student or a group of students to do some presentation, or some role play is given to the students, because they enjoy when you're giving some role to them. Or some simulations are there into your laboratory, where the students are doing some active efforts to learn something. In the practicals, they are doing some active efforts to do something, that is important. Very problematic is the neither we as a teachers are giving that much of significance to the practicals, nor the students are doing the practicals seriously. But you will see the practicals are the opportunity to have active learning, but that is not happening. Okay, so my dear participant, we have to see how we are going to change from passive to active. Because in active, you are saying, maybe a group discussion, you are saying and writing something, you are presenting something, you are saying to the students, and then before that you are doing a presentation because you are writing something. What points I should take out? What, when you are doing a role play, you have to act. So you are doing some active efforts to learn something, and that is nothing but the active learning is learning through activities. So the modern pedagogical techniques, they are much more prone towards active type of learning, so that the students' involvement takes place. Okay. Now, many times we say that the students are learning. They are learning means what? What is what they are doing? When we say that by attending this STTP, if there is going to be change in knowledge or some skills or the attitude of mind, then I can say the learning has happened in the participants. But now you are at this level, after doing 5-7 days of STTP, your knowledge level, your skills level, your attitude level have not been changed. Then nothing, no learning has happened. So when we talk of learning, it is the change in knowledge, skills and attitude that is important. Not only this, when I say that I have learned something, means the information which I have got, I have retained that information. How I can retain that information into my mind? Active efforts. Okay, so you will find that learning is nothing but the change in knowledge, skills and attitude. Learning is nothing but the retention of information. And therefore Edgar Dale, he came up with a pyramid of learning, and you might have come across because already you are hearing for the last 5 days. But here what I want to tell you, that the traditional teaching method is based on lectures, but these lectures gives the retention rate of only 5%. Only 5%. You go for reading, 10%. Audio visual, it increases 20%. Demonstration, 30%. All these are passive. The students are not. But only giving lectures, it's only hearing. It becomes 5% retention. Go on towards audio visual because they are seeing and hearing, it goes to 20%. In case of reading, they are even reading it and trying to remember something, therefore 10%. So likewise, if you go from lecture to demonstration, all are passive, all are traditional one, but the retention rate is not more than 30%. But as you go to active type of learning, whether it is a discussion in a group, whether they are practicing something by doing, or by they are teaching others, then your retention goes from 30% to 90%, and therefore we have to see how we can go ahead with active learning. So let us remember this pyramid. Let us see how we can involve the students so that they can have that active type of learning. Okay. Now, teaching learning process, we have seen that is a change in knowledge. We also see that the learning outcomes which we are jotting down, which we are framing, that the student after going through this lecture, going through this my pedagogy, he should be able to achieve this. Those learning outcomes are important. And here Benjamin Bloom came up with a Bloom's taxonomy, and you might have gone for Bloom's taxonomy. Once again a repetition for you. This is a revised version of the base of the pyramid: remembering, understanding, applying. We are focused during the assessment, during the teaching, only on remembering and understanding. We are not going further. But we have to achieve the higher order thinking skills. If we have to achieve the learning outcomes, then we have to go towards the top of the pyramid. They should be able to analyze, evaluate, create, synthesize the new information. If that is possible, the learning outcomes are of the highest level. Okay, and therefore we have to see that how we are going to achieve this. So we have seen that the learning pyramid, we have seen the Bloom's taxonomy. Then you will come to know that yes, as you go from active, from passive to active, you are also going from learning lower order thinking skills to higher order thinking skills. You can see here, these all are passive. But if you go towards the as active learning strategies, you will find the Bloom's taxonomy, this pyramid becomes inverted, and therefore if a student teaches to another student, it is called as a peer teaching or peer learning, then you can achieve higher order thinking skills. Therefore you can see lower order thinking skills, remembering, understanding, applying, we are focusing much on that because we are conducting the lectures. But if these type of methods are utilized, then you will find that higher order thinking skills are achieved by the students. And therefore, we have to see, we have to bring this change into our teaching learning process. Okay. So let us see that how we can convert our passive traditional teaching learning process towards active teaching learning process. Okay. That will make us to achieve higher order thinking skills. Now, you know, when we are in the 21st century education, we have the classes where the students are more, and therefore there are certain challenges to a teacher. And when the 21st century teacher, we have the challenge of converting the passive teaching learning process to active teaching learning process. We have the challenge of learning styles, because there are the students who can learn better by visually. No, rather than in the lecture, we are delivering a lecture, others are only hearing. If they are hearing only, some are visual learners. They may not understand what you are teaching. They may not remember what you have taught. And therefore, we have to consider there are various types of learning styles. Some are visual learners, some are auditory learners, like you are giving a lecture, they will remember. Some are kinesthetic, they can't remember by sitting at one place. They will move, they will do some activity, they will remember it. So we have to consider various learning styles of different students, because our target is to achieve the learning outcome in all our students, not only those who are the fast learners, intelligent students. No, we have to see how my whole class is going to improve in learning, and therefore we have to consider learning styles. We also know there is a student diversity. So many are slow learners, so few are rapid learners. Those are rapid learners. If your speed is slow, they will getting easily bored. If there are the students who are slow learners, and if you go fast, they may not be able to understand what you have taught. But that diversity is present in the class. Then how I do? Because my challenge, I want all my 60 students, all my 100 students to understand it better. But this group is diverse. How I am going to make it possible? We know learning is possible only when we motivate, because we teach by taking so many efforts, but the students are least interested. So how I am going to motivate them so that they can learn? That is also a challenge. And not only that, even how I am going to engage the student. 60 minutes lecture, are the students really focused for this much long? No. If you go on doing the lectures, so I will have to bring some components into my lecture so that the engagement levels of the students will improve. Therefore, my dear participants, we have to say this. How we are going to do it? How we are going to do it? We know that from traditional passive, we have to go to active. There are the learning styles of different students are different. There is a diversity in the student groups. The student engagement is a problem. So how we are going to solve this? And therefore, there is the need of modern pedagogical techniques that can be used. Okay. So my question to you, what changes will you do in your teaching methods for taking care of above situations? You will use modern pedagogical tools, I know. Which modern pedagogical tools? for converting our lectures from passive to active? If there is a diverse group, what tools you will use? Okay, so you can even write your answers, because this is a question which I have asked you. So you can write it in the chat box. Okay, so if you can write it in a chat box, it's good. What changes will you do in your teaching methods for taking care of above situation? Good. Every 10-minute reflection spot, student response systems, brainstorming sessions, video lectures. So nice of you. So nice of you. So much good answers you have given. Good. So every time we have to see, if I have to convert my passive traditional lecture into active type, then I have to see how I can organize the group discussions, how I can go for the collaborative type of teaching learning process, so that the students will be collaboratively learning something, how I can come up with a peer learning techniques. So if these things can be given to them, the students will be, means we can take them from the passive learning to the active learning. If the learning styles are different, we have to create the opportunities. If somebody is good in visual learning, I will deliver my lecture in the classroom, but still I will prepare my video and post it on their groups. Let the visual learners see the video, because you can pause the video, you can, the slow learners, the visual learners will be benefited by your videos. So if they are visual, video clips will be important. If somebody is an auditory type of a learning style, they are using a podcast, audio clip which you are sending, that might be a better for him. If you create some activities, maybe after my lecture or covering this point or this concept, I will give one activity for them. Let them do the activity, a separate activity for separate students. Yes, they will learn it better. So those are the pedagogical things. Okay. In case of slow learners, self-paced means you give the video whenever they like, slowly they can observe. We can give them the clips. There might be cooperative type of learning, so that one fast learner, if he can take some 2 3 slow learners and explain it, and together they can come with the solutions. You can, so peer learning, cooperative learning can be taking care of student diversity. Not only that, the student can lose the focus. You need to motivate them. So in between asking the questions, having some group activities, have a clicker question. So somewhere we need to have the strategy, a changed strategy. In a documentation also, when that when we do our lesson plans, or when we give that lesson plan submit, I feel that you have to mention the strategy of your teaching. What strategy you are going to use? Maybe 20 minutes of my lecture, maybe some 10 minutes of some activity, or maybe some 10 minutes of discussion between the groups, or today I'm going to have a cooperative learning, or today I'm going to have a collaborative learning. So like that type of various strategies for using modern pedagogical techniques, if those can be utilized, I feel the students will be much more motivated to learn something. They will be, the whatever the information is there, that will be more retained. Okay, so good. So there is the need of modern pedagogical techniques. You might have come across various modern pedagogical techniques, but just I'm mentioning about teaching practices inventory, just because Dr. Carl Wyman came up with a teaching practices inventory. Because right now what we are doing is we are taking the feedback from the student. How is your you take the feedback about teacher, but that feedback is not a genuine one. Somewhere the students are judging you, but if your subject is very tough, the rating of a teacher will come down. Therefore, in an inventory, there are so many practices that you can utilize, so that just by knowing that which of the teaching practices you are using, your rating will automatically improve. You can become a good teacher. So that has been given. I'm not going to explain it today here, but if you can use these practices, okay, Dr. Carl Wyman teaching practices inventory is there. TPI we say, you can search it and you can find it and use those practices inventory, because these are the good teaching practices. A teacher who is using more good teaching practices is more effective. That is what we can see whether he is effective or not. Okay. Same way, we also have a behaviors. There are so many teaching behaviors. What is your clarity? How is your voice? That type of how is your communication? So many types of high inference and low inference teaching behaviors are there. So whether you are taking some pains, whether the teachers are being trained for this type of improvement of behaviors, then yes, the performance of the teacher will be improved. So whenever you have time, go for the teaching behaviors and teaching practices, so that you will turn into a teacher who is an effective one. Okay, rather than getting the feedback from the students, I feel we should be able to see how I am going to utilize this, how I am going to utilize many of the practices in the inventory, how I can improve myself with a good teaching behaviors. Okay, likewise, there are the cooperative learning strategies, there are collaborative learning strategies. You can sometimes go for inquiry based learning, because it is a question mark. You are giving some question to the student, and based on that they go on searching something. When they search something to find the solution, the learning will be far better. So inquiry based learning, project based learning, we are giving for the degrees the project, but these projects should not be for the base of giving the project. It should be that they should learn something new rather than copying something. So project based learning, problem based learning. So these are various techniques, but I'm not today's my lecture is not on modern pedagogical techniques. So just I'm mentioning the points. Okay. The same way, now it has become that how your presentations are effective, how you can create the effective presentation so that the students can remember it better, how I can bring some good animations, good videos. Okay, how is it possible for me to create my own website where the student can just go to my website and get all my videos, get all my notes there. Okay, likewise, the learning management system. Learning management system is very, very important when you are talking about accreditation, because learning management system is going to record, document each and everything. So if you can show all this record to a committee, they are going to be far impressed. Not only for the committee's sake, but if you are using some learning management system, then automatically documentation is become no need to worry about, no need that you have to see that how I will keep the record. Starting from the login by the student till their achievements in the whole year, everything will be there in the system, which is very easy for your documentation. Therefore, learning management systems are important. Use how you are going to use the Google resources in teaching, starting from the Google Classroom till, because I'm talking specifically of the Google resources because they are free of cost. And these Google resources, starting from Google Drive to Google Classroom, lot many of resources are there which you can use. Okay, so you have to implement maybe the free software tools available, how you can create the effective contents, which are the student response systems that you can use. online quizzes and evaluation, online streaming and webinars, online discussion forums. Likewise, so many things are there, and these modern pedagogical techniques you need to implement, because when you are doing, there is the two targets are there: teaching learning process. I should achieve the outcome. The student should be able to do this after passing out from pharmacy course or engineering course or whatever the course is. If you want to achieve it, my teaching learning process should be very peculiar. Not only that, second thing which is very important is, we teaching learning process should be totally innovative one. It should be flexible one, providing more opportunities to the students. So which pedagogical technique I am going to use? So you can show it to the committee also, and everything will be documented. Okay. So today the expectations from two teachers are, they should be able to create the images, charts, graphs that can be included in their presentations. Very good presentations, animations, videos, they should be able to create. Even those who are having the writing skills good, they can have their own blogs. They can come up with the audio files in the podcast. They can have a chatting group, maybe WhatsApp, Telegram, or there are so many online chatting groups that can be formed. They should be able to see the online quizzes, tests, and online assignments also. That can be checked. The record will be there. Because what happens if you ask the students to do the assignment and submit, it is not possible for us to check all the 60 papers and keep the record of it. If it is online assignment checking, you can keep the record, and you will come to know what is the progress, continuous progress of your student. Okay, so I feel it is better to have this assignment online.
कुछ तो करके आएगा
Website, learning management systems, virtual classrooms, and designing books. Okay, so these are what the expectations from teachers today, and therefore we should know these tools, how we are going to use these tools. So with this, I'm going towards the next part, that is how we are going to use the multimedia. Okay, so multimedia is a form of communication that combines different content forms such as text, audio, images, animations, or video into a single presentation. Now, when we are using this multimedia or able to do the multimedia, then we will be able to create the good presentations, good type of animations, and therefore multimedia usage is very important. Okay, and therefore we will see to it that how to enrich our content by using multimedia tools. Many a times we use the images, many a times we use the charts, graphs. Okay, and how the creativity you can use in this. So for that, most of the times, for creating the images, if you want to take the image, what we do is we do the Google search. But whatever the images you are using from Google, they might be some copyrighted one. And for that reason, if you can produce your own image, or you can take the image from the site which is free to use, then it is going to be well. So for that, we also have various software tools. I am not going to discuss all the software tools. One or other I will discuss with you, or otherwise these are the tools which you can use for enriching content. Now you can see here snipping tool. This snipping tool is present in our own Windows PC. Own Windows PC. So when we have these snipping tools, if I want to have a screenshot, many times it becomes a problem for us. So just give snipping tool into your taskbar. You will find that one snipping tool is already there into your computer. You can use this snipping tool. So I can see there. So when I click to leave, so you can see here, I want this much of part. See this. Okay. You also have a pen so that you can do some markings over here. You can have a highlighter, or you can use the same picture. So if you are online, even if you are online, you can, whatever is there on the screen, some part of it, if you want to take that much and use it in your presentation, it's okay, you can do it. So snipping tool is a very good tool which is present in every Windows PC, which you can use for your taking the screenshot. Not only that, we can also have some screenshot where you can annotate it, but due to time constraint, I won't be going there. You can even have this io.draw. This is for the diagrams. Many types of diagrams can be possible only by downloading this. Go to this app, https app.diagrams.net. Download it. Many times this can be downloaded and saved into your PC. Whenever you want to create anything, you can use it. Likewise, you can have the lucid chart. Okay, so lucid chart can also be used for creating the charts. Same way, I suggest you to go for edrawsoft.com, where you can create the mind maps. You all will agree with me that when you are taking a lecture or one chapter is over, if you want to have a mind map created, okay, for the chapter incompatibility, I created one mind map. That's all. So that is only one page mind map. If a student can see that mind map, he can remember all the incompatibilities. Such type of mind maps can be possible so that the students can retain that information. Because how to remember the things, if you can teach the students that, that is going to be very good. Awesome. So there are so many multimedia tools that can be used. Okay, if you can go further, you can see this. These are the multimedia tools that maybe PictoChart, Pixels, Stencils, Unsplash, Pixabay, Shutterstock, Wikimedia Commons. All this, from there you can get some infographics, images, videos, music, free of cost to be used into your presentations. Okay, because there should be some inventory where all the teaching staff had saved their presentations, which you can show to your committee that yes, we have created so many presentations, we have created so many videos. Okay, but while creating these presentations, I will just take example of a Shutterstock. Okay, I will take example of a Shutterstock. Okay, so this is a Shutterstock. So here you can search by giving, maybe if you want some, okay, maybe tablets. These tablets will come of this one also. Tablets, let before that we'll go to. So you can see this, so many of, okay, these can be downloaded. If you want some images, this can be downloaded. Only thing is, one mark of this one will come, Shutterstock, but that doesn't make any difference because we are using it for our students. Okay, so likewise, so many good images can be formed. Okay, if I want this, okay, here you can see, when you click on try, this image will be downloaded. That's all. But not only this, you can find that similar images are there. Not only this, even you will find that some images given, some are the video clips. So if you want this video where the pharmacy store is there, so you can even take this, use this similar video clip in your presentation. So you can even take the video clip. So free of cost. Shutterstock is there, Pixabay is there, Unsplash is there. These are the good images, photos you can get. Okay, so with this, just you can try others. Then let us go towards the next slide. That is, there are another like Canva, Imgur, and all that. Many a times we use a presentation software that is of MS PowerPoint. But if you want to do some collaborative type, some presentation I am doing and my group is working on the presentation. So all can add into your presentation, no need. And whatever you add to the presentation, it will be saved. So try for that Google Slides, Sway, Canva. These are Google Slides are somewhere the collaborative working is more possible. Everything you create, it is saved. Only thing is, you can even at the end of this one, you can download the Google Slides and you can use it. Okay, so instead of this, you can go for Google Slides, Sway, Canva, PictoChat, or online. If you go for go to slides, go to slides, templates, and all that. So many different templates you can get for the presentation. Okay, animations. You have this Animaker or Animoto. These are the maybe pencil 2D animation, Powtoons and Render Forest give you a whiteboard animation, but for 2 to 3 minutes. So that can also be there. But this Animaker, Pencil 2D animation, Blender, this can be downloaded and saved into your PCs, and you can create some animations, because sometimes animation will be more remembered by the student. It takes a lot of time, but you can go for those types of animations also sometimes. Okay. Likewise, you can create the videos by using various, because MS PowerPoint, if you have Windows 10 or above, now Windows 19 is there. So Windows 19 do have so many animations. You can create your video. So many good features are there. So Windows 10 or above, you can go for video creation by using MS PowerPoint. If you want a very easier one, screen recorder, then Screencast-O-Matic. OBS Studio, very nice. You can download this software into your computer free of cost. No watermark is coming, and OBS Studio can also be used for your live YouTube sessions. So go for OBS Studio. Okay, so there are certain video creation tools that you can use for your videos. Not only that, once your video is created, you can even edit that, so that the you need to suppress that, because you have to upload it to the YouTube, then your file size should be less. So for that, you can use OpenShot or Shortcut, Format Factory, etc. Audacity is one of the software which can be used for reducing the background noise. If there is a background noise, fantastically Audacity can be used. Not only for that, it can be used to create a podcast, audio clips. So Audacity is also important. Okay. So tools for podcasting, Anchor and Audacity are podcasting creating, but to host, Buzzsprout is important. Podomatic, Podbean, these are the free podcast hosting softwares. Okay. Just due to time constraints, I won't go ahead and tell you the various software tools. Okay. I can share the presentation with you. You can just go to various sites which are free of cost and try them. Okay. Now, for the blogging, you also have, because you can create the good blogs. EduBlog is the widely used for educational blogs, or blogger.com. So these EduBlogs also you can use, so that you can create a blog for your student. The student can give the comments, and this can be your blog. If it is a become popular, it can be read by whole world, because it will be hosted on some site. So you should be able, because it is EduBlocker. If your blog is there, you can get so many good comments, and even you can earn out of it. If you're blogging, you should know there are tools for website creation. It is a WordPress, which is a free of cost website you can create, or a Google site. Very easy to create your Google site. So you can have your Google site where you can keep your all the material which the students can have access to. Okay. Not only that, the one which is very important is a learning management system. This is because you can create or disseminate your lectures through videos. You can track the student progress, create the tests and discussion forums, manage the records, and therefore Moodle is very, very important. Not only Moodle, Edmodo is there, Google Classroom is there, Genomio Moodle, this is a free one, Genomio Moodle, Open edX, so many learning management systems are there. Learning management system is very important if you're going to go for the accreditation process. It is because all the record of teaching learning process is there online. Anywhere you click it, and all your students performance for the whole year can be shown on a single platform of LMS. Therefore I would request you to study Genomio Moodle, and there in the Genomio Moodle or the Google Classroom, which is easy, where you can have. But as far as Genomio Moodle is concerned, so many other things are possible. Okay, so just for your this one, we will go to one of our sites. Okay, so I have just gone to our Department of Pharmacy Jalgaon site. Here you can see I have opened. Okay, I will go to dashboard once again so that you can see. Okay, so this is a, I will go to site home. What we have done, you can see here all the courses are on one side. It is not mandatory that you should keep all the subjects on one Moodle platform. You can have a teacher wise Moodle platform, which is a very easy one. So you can see all 6 subjects of ours are there on one platform. The students can log in. So if you go to subject, you can find that all the course outcomes are given over here. So they can even know, and dissemination of course outcomes come. Then we go inside, you can have all the chapter wise, no, all the chapters are covered over here. So the material which is required, whatever the videos are there, you can keep it over here. So if you go to this, you will come to know that even whatever we have done, activities have been taken. So pharmaceutics 2 MCQ practice test was given. Who are those students who have achieved 5? So you can see here, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These have got the highest grades. So when the students are coming inside into your Google this Genomio Moodle, you can motivate them, because all those numbers, whenever you are taking any test, the highest rankers will be there flashed into their this one. So this is a motivation for the students. Not only this, you can see here the quizzes are there, question banks are there, study material is there, even the games are there. So you can do the gamification, crossword, millionaire. So through games, the students can learn better. So all this data is there. You can see all the participants are there. Now you will get everything. How much marks they have covered, all the data of all the students will be there at one place. That is a very good about it. How many tests you have conducted, how many assignments have been conducted, and how many marks they have scored in the assignments. Everything you can get at the end of the year on one platform, which can be downloaded and which can be a well documented system for you to show to the committee. And therefore I would suggest, come on, go to any learning management system, and it's very easy. If you can see here, if I go to my course, and here if I can start editing it, okay, turn editing on, you can see here at the, if I want to add any activity or resource, you will find, you can add that assignment. You can take a online lecture through blue button. You can have a chat online. You can have a discussion forum where you can post a question and the students can give their answers over there or discuss on the topic. Even after finishing the chapter, you can ask for the feedback from the students. So the student feedback chapter wise is possible over here. You can gamify by using various games: crossword, cryptex, hangman, hidden picture, millionaire, snakes and ladders. You can have the quiz. You can even have a lesson plan. You can have a dictionary by using a glossary, lesson plan, quiz. Okay, survey also you can go for. So likewise, there are so many things. You can have a book where the students can read your book. Okay, the files you can post, folders you can post. So many things are there into Genomio Moodle, and therefore go for Genomio Moodle, go for Google Classroom, but try to have a LMS. If it is, you can pay for some good LMS and it is there in your institute, nothing like that. But if you don't have, I suggest go for free LMS Genomio Moodle or Google Classroom, so that much of the data will be saved and the hassles of having every document on a paper will be reduced. Okay, because here there is attendance also. You can even have a attendance online feed into your Genomio Moodle. So my dear participants, so use this tool so that your documentation becomes a problem. Okay, now I think last 5 minutes I will work on collaborative learning and then we'll stop. Okay, so you can see here when I'm talking about collaborative learning, you can see here how we have implemented the group learning techniques. This is a group learning. One fine day maybe some concept is taught by you, make the groups, and these groups now they are discussing amongst themselves whatever the concept they have learned. So if they are discussing, whenever they are discussing among the peers, the retention is very good. Sometimes you can have the competition also. One group is asking question to another group, so that you can have the winners of that, runners of that group. So likewise, you can see here. Just I have taken a selfie with the students, but the students are totally motivated because they have asked the question to another group, and when they are winners, they are so happy to have a selfie. Okay, so like that, group learning techniques, how you are going to use it, that is very important. Collaborative learning, you can have a team, pair, solo. Let them work on some concept in a team. You explain it to the students, then let them discuss whatever they have learned in a pair, and in solo let them come ahead and discuss. Team, pair, solo, every participant, every student will participate and therefore learn it properly. Here you can see the peer teaching is happening. In a group they are teaching to the students, so peer teaching is happening. So that type of modern pedagogical tools you should use. Yes, in the flipped classroom, we use the strategy called as a think, pair, share. Think, pair, share. Give a question to them. Once the question is given, they are thinking on that question, and in a pair, they are discussing on that. And whatever they have come up with the idea or their solution, they are sharing it in front of the class. So that becomes more learning. Okay, so go for this collaborative type of learning, cooperative type of learning. Now you will say that there, how I can do it, because the students are at home. But let me tell you, if you use Google Drive, maybe some project you are given or some topic you have given, let them do it on their Google Drive and let them share the link with you. You can check it on their Google Drive what they have done. As a group, they can share it and they can create some document which can be seen by a teacher. You can go for a Padlet. You can use wikis where the collaborative work, a group is there and group is working on that in the wikis or in the Google Drive. And in a Padlet, also they can work, because Padlet is also free of cost, okay, which you people can use it. See, this is my Padlet, because there are 3 Padlets which are free of cost. Okay, so if you can see here, this is my Padlet, which will come here. So here you can write anything which you want. Or I can go for this Padlet. So here I have written, dear learners, we have seen many tools for online teaching. Kindly contribute to this wall, sharing your experiences in using these tools for online teaching. So if I made this wall, all my students can come here, they can click this plus sign so that they can write it over here, what tool they have used. They can write something, they can upload the file, they can attach the file, they can even search over here, or they can click the snap and upload it over here. So on this wall, all your 60 students can come together and post something which will be read by all others. So that is a collaborative way of having some innovative sharing of any of the topic. Okay, so you can use a Padlet. Only 3 Padlets are free, but you can change all these things. You can edit this and take some another topic. But as a Padlet, from the home, from their mobiles, the student can contribute as a modern pedagogical tool. Okay, so use sometimes the Padlet, okay, also, or Google Drive, so that this can happen. Okay, now I'm going towards the Kahoot. So I request, this is the last one which I've last but one slide where I want to play one Kahoot game with you. So I request you to log in with www.kahoot.it. Don't use this code because I'm sharing with you the another code, but I request all the participants to open this www.kahoot.it. Okay, Kahoot it. Okay, www.kahoot.it, and then just we will revise what we have seen up till now in my sessions or earlier sessions, so that we can make it interactive as well. Okay, so let me go to Kahoot. This is the Kahoot which I have done it. So I'm going to start this. I hope that you have logged on to kahoot.it. Now the pin is getting generated. So I will just give you the pin. So the pin is 1178279. So dear participant, just log in into www.kahoot.it and use the pin 1178279. Just I'm very sorry for this one. Just I want to stop that. Okay, let me. Yeah, now once again, I request you to change the pin because just I started the game before you logged in. So now the new pin is 4590360. Okay, dear participant, log in to kahoot.it and use the pin 4590360. So let the participants come in. 4590360. Okay, 16 participants. Kahoot.it. Come on, do it fast so that we can go ahead and finish this game. Okay, 17. Come on, fast. www.kahoot.it. Game pin is 4590360. Okay, let us start the game with these 20 participants. Okay, this is the interactive quiz. So be ready for answering the quiz. Videos posted on Google Classroom is the type of dash online teaching, synchronous or asynchronous? Okay, so 6 people, only 6, 3, 9 and 3, 12 have attempted this. Out of that, 6 have given a right answer, because in Google Classroom we are not online. No, the students as well as teacher is not online. Only thing is you post some video over there or learning material and the students can log in over there. So it is not a synchronous one. Synchronous means when both teacher and students are at a common platform. Now this is the synchronous, but Google Classroom is asynchronous. Okay, we'll go to the next question. Okay, so the scoreboard, Pooja has got 903. Okay, so she is number 1, then Dr. Satish, Pratyush, Dinesh and Vaishnavi. Okay, try your level best and be a podium finisher. Next. So second question, true or false? Online lecture conducted using Zoom platform is a type of asynchronous teaching, either true or false. Zoom platform is a type of asynchronous teaching, true or false? Yes, it is a synchronous type of Zoom platform. Is what we are doing? We are at the common platform, so it is a synchronous. It is not asynchronous. So 15 have given the right answer. Yes, Pooja is at number 2, number 1, and Pratyush has come to number 2. Good. Try for the next. Which of the following is the multimedia tool for enriching content? Snipping tool, have some screenshot, Lucid charts. I have shared this slide. Okay, all of the above, because all these 3 we have discussed that. Okay, so all of the above, 10 people have given the right answer. Now it is Pratyush who has gone for number 1. Dr. Satish is at number 2 and Pooja has gone to number 3. Okay, so all the best. Let us go to the next question. How you can improve the student engagement during online classes? By conducting online quiz, chats, discussions, or all of the above? So 23 have given the right answer. Good. So that is a Pratyush at number 1. That is 3246. Dr. Satish is at number 2. Simpy is at number 3. Next, the last question. Try it, true or false. Collaborative work helps students to achieve higher order thinking skills. True or false? So 23 have given the right answer. So now you can see the podium. Simpy is at 3, third position. Dr. Satish is number 2. And it is a Pratyush. So congratulations, Mr. Pratyush, to be a topper. Then Dr. Satish, Simpy, Subhash, and Sandeep. So well done. So that's all. So we had an interactive quiz. So you can keep these type of quizzes for your students. It makes the interactive things and you can even revise the things. Okay. So that's all from my side. The last one, tools for assessment you might be using. Mentimeter, already I've told you how we can use it because I've already used Mentimeter, Kahoot, Testmos, Google Forms, Flickr, Socrative, Monkey Survey, Poll Everywhere. These are the surveys which you can use so that it will be recalling it, which you can use it. Maybe lot many of surveys are required because direct type of assessment is there. Okay, so that's all from my side. So thank you, dear participants, for patient listening. So let us use the modern pedagogical techniques for better teaching learning process and use online tools so that we can document it, because whatever you have given the answers on Mentimeter, whatever you have given answers today on Kahoot as a participant, everything is stored, okay, online on my platform, which I can utilize. Okay, so I think this session was useful for you. Now it is open for question answer session if time permits. Okay, thank you. From my side, it's over.
Daya sir,
Yes,
what a wonderful session.
thank you. Yes, anybody, any question? If you have, you can ask. Yeah, somebody has asked in the chat that how we can collaborate Jitsi. You just contact me on my mobile number. Okay, I will just maybe share my slides how to use it, or we will talk on that. Okay.
The session is now open for question answers. You can put your questions in chat box also, or you can unmute yourself and ask the question to. There is one question in chat box. Sir, there is one question in chat box. How can we collaborate Jitsi?
Yeah, Jitsi, it will take some time for me to explain it, and I don't have my presentation over here. So I will I will share my presentation on Jitsi. Okay. I will send. You can contact me on my mobile number or my mail ID. I will send my presentation how to collaborate with it.
आणि त्या दिवशी आदल्या दिवशी सांगितलं डॉक्टरनी एवढं सगळं किडनी खराब फुफ्फुसावर प्रेशर आलंय. दुसऱ्या दिवशी
टेन्शननीच गेले असते.
Yeah, thank you. I will this Ashwin Kumar Pathak will contact me for his question. Okay, I will share the presentation to him about Jitsi because right now it is not there and it won't be. It will take some time for me to open and discuss with that. Okay. Other questions I don't have in the chat box, so I will stop sharing from my side. Thank you all, dear participants.
There is one more question that was previously posted. What is the difference between Moodle and Genomio Moodle?
Yeah, see, Genomio Moodle is a free platform. Genomio Moodle is created by the fan club of Moodle. Moodle, if you want to install it, it is also free if you install it on the college or institute server. You need to give space, a dedicated server for Moodle, and then you can utilize that server for all of the faculty or all of your departments into your institute. So I would suggest you can go for it. But if it is not possible, then you can go for Genomio Moodle, which is a free of cost. Okay, and an individual participant can, but it is having some limitations of space because you will be given some space from Google Cloud. Okay, and therefore you will have to, for a separate subject, you have to have your own site and that you have to share with your students. But Moodle as such, it is a paid version, but if you are going to install it in your server, it is also free. So you can, because you will require some computer person who knows how to install the drivers, and if he is able to do it onto your server, which you can keep it online for 24 hours, yes, you can have Moodle into your institute. Or otherwise, for every individual staff, you can have a Genomio Moodle. Its only difference is that Genomio Moodle is created for the free users by a fan club of Moodle. Many of the features are similar to the Moodle, but more features are there in Moodle as a software. Okay, I think I have made it clear.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now, any other question from delegate? No, Daya sir, there is no question from
Okay,
delegate
sir.
side. So, on behalf of the Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, I extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Dias for giving his consent for short-term training program and for sharing his valuable thoughts over online tools for outcome-based teaching learning process. Sir, really, sir, it was a very, very wonderful talk. Now, I request all the delegates to submit their feedback in the Google form by 2 p.m. The next session will start sharply at 2 p.m. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Dayas sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all the participants, and thank you the organizing team for giving me an opportunity to interact with the participants. Thank you, principal sir, and whole of the organizing team. Thank you.
So thanks everybody.